Right, okay, welcome back. So hopefully now we've all traced over that design and we've got one drawing ready to fine line and upload or put into our folder or wherever we're showcasing our work. We're going to leave this now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to head over to this plus button at the side and I'm going to go and create Part Studio. What this is going to allow me to do, this is going to let me keep all my designs in one place. I've already got design 1 there. I'm just going to right click on Part Studio 1 and click and type design 2. Now, the bit where most people fall down is they make 8 designs that are all just some boxy or rectangles put next to each other in a certain series in a slightly different configuration. That's not what's going to get you the marks. You get the marks for having interesting, different, unique design. So you want to make sure that in each design there's something unique that you can showcase. So for example, this is a wall mounted one. In my development, I'll put a hook, I'll put some screw threads in here. I'll try and consider how I'm going to put it together, whether that be with screws or glue or whatever it might be. This is going to be a desk-mounted design. So this is going to be a completely different type of photo display. It's going to look a little bit weird, I think, but we're going to crack ahead and see what we can do. So first of all, because I'm building this from the top and it's going to balance on a desk, I'm going to do this from the top plane. And it's going to need to start with a broad base. So I'm going to click on the drop down. I'm going to click center point rectangle, and I'm going to make it 100 by 100, I think is sensible. I'm going to put a little fillet on each of those corners. So my sketch fillet is just there next to the trim tool, the scissors. 1, 2, 3, 4 corners. And I'm going to set that to 15. So I get a nice broad fillet. I'm then going to use my extrude tool to pull it out, probably 10 mil. And then I've got my base. I might as well just put a 1 mil fillet round. So it's just got that nice roundness to it. I'm going to sketch a circle. In fact, no, I'm going to sketch a center point rectangle in the middle. This is going to be the stem. So the concept of this design is it's going to have a stem that comes up a bit like a central column. And on each side, it's going to have a photo. So one photo will face one way, one photo is going to face the other way. I'm going to press N just to orient myself to the direction of the plane I'm working on. And I'm going to drop my stem, and it's going to be, I think, 20 by 8 is sensible for what I want. I'm going to extrude that. I'm not going to extrude it by a number to start with. I'm just going to see what looks realistic, what looks sensible. That probably looks good. 189, I'll just top that up to 200. I'm happy with that. Now, I've not used the circle yet. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start working on here. I'm going to make one of my displays on here, and I'm going to mirror it onto the other side. So I'm going to click on sketch. I'm going to have a circle, and I want to make sure this circle, the center point, is in the middle of this display. Going to pull it out. That looks about right. That looks like it's not going to be too unbalanced, so it's going to topple over, but it's big enough that I can fit a photo in it. And I'm just going to set the diameter. That's the whole distance across the circle to 170. And I'm going to extrude that by 10. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, I need to cut a hole in this because no photo frames are actually circular. Any circular photo frame will usually have an outcut of a rectangle or square in the middle, and it will use that to display the photo. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to sketch on this plane, sketch from the center point of the rectangle of the circle, and we're going to see what 2 inches looks like. We'll try 4. That might be a little bit big. Try 3 by 4 inches. This might just be trial and error. That's sensible. It's not perfect, but it's sensible. And I'm just going to cut that hole through the middle. So I'm going to click extrude. I've got new, add, and remove. Remove is going to cut a hole. It's going to cut a hole through everything. But if I set that to just 10 mil, I know that's the thickness of my material. So I've just set it. If I set that to 10 mil, it's going to show through on the back. And now I just need to mirror this feature here. So I can dead easily do that. If that was problem. No, we'll still we're doing it this way. I click the mirror tool, which is there. And I'm going to mirror it around the front plane. So you can see this is the front plane. That's highlighted orange at the minute. And what I want to do is mirror this feature onto the other side of this bar that I've got, this support. So I'm going to click my mirror tool. I don't want to mirror the part. I've only got one part at the minute. Now that could change. It might be easier if I did change that actually. But for the minute, I've only got one part. So I don't want to mirror the whole thing. I want to mirror a feature. Now a feature is anything I've done. So that could be an extrude, it could be a remove, it could be a fillet, a chamfer, it could be anything. At the minute, it's going to be an extrude, so I just need to click on the extruded part. And the only thing left is to click on the thing I want to use as my mirror, the thing I'm reflecting it around. I'm going to click on mirror plane so it goes blue. I'm going to click on my front plane. Now you'll see it goes red. It's exactly where I want it. It's what I want, but it's gone red. That's because I've got my hole, I've done things to that extrude. I've got a hole in it. I've done things to it since I've mirrored it. All I need to do to carry those changes across is click reapply features there. And I'm hoping as soon as I click this, it's going to go blue. It has gone blue, but it's not carried the hole across. That's not a problem. All I need to do is do another mirror. I need to find the extrude where I cut the hole. So that was it. It was that extrude where we cut the hole. I need to mirror that. So click the mirror. In feature mirror, I'm going to click extrude 4. I'm going to set the mirror. I'm going to reapply features. And I've got my hole there. So now I've got 2 frames. Each of them, when they're fully manufactured, will have a backing. You can put that, there is videos later on about showing you how to do that. You can put this in the initial designs, or you can just get a sketch of that. You will need to annotate one of these. If there's something that you can't see on the other side of a design, what you're going to need to do, you're going to need to annotate that you've got another photo frame on the back, which you can sort of see through. Or what you're going to need to do, you need to do a few support sketches. You don't even need to trace them. They can be rough sketches, but you can reverse it. You can view what it looks like the other side in order to do that. You might want to put some chamfers on as well, some fillets, make it look nice and smooth. Maybe put a 5mm fillet. What that'll do is it make it fully round. It's fully round. You might not want that. It's up to you. And that's about me finished for this design. Maybe if I wanted to do something extra, I could probably put some tabs on the bottom. Maybe just like some rubber feet. I'm just going to draw a square, put some circles in the corner so I know they're all in line with each other. Make sure they're sensible. Make sure they're all 15mm. And then I'm just going to extrude them, perhaps 1mm. Trim the excess lines away. Drag my trim tool through them all. Now I've just got some tiny little feet pads. Now, the last thing, I've just made this up as I've gone along. As you can probably tell, not a lot of thought went to the design itself, more of what I need to get those marks and what you need to get those marks. If you look at this design, and I know I keep clicking on this corner bit here, that's not actually your isometric view. Your isometric view is there. It's just a slight difference, but you do need to make sure it is an isometric view. If you look at that and compare it to this design, hopefully you can see they're very different, and there's no chance of confusing those. I've not carried many, if any, of the features from one to the other. Now, you've got 8 designs, so there is going to be some overlap for some of them, but you need to showcase that you've come up with a big, good, interesting range. The one other thing I'll say is if you are tracing these, some of them do need to be 2D. So if you want to draw that as a 2D shape, you're more than welcome to. What I would say, if you're doing it in 2D, you might want a front and a side view, if not even a top view. We're going to be doing that in a lot more detail later on in task 3, but for now, you might just want to support your sketches with those. Okay, that's it for this video. If you didn't follow along with anything there, just go back as to what I've said again. It might be the case that I've not explained myself too clearly. If that's the case, see where my cursor goes, see what buttons they click, and see if you can work it out from there. If you've got any questions, any issues, drop me a comment and I'll try to get back to you. Thank you.